How important are seismic improvements? For starters, at least 30 of our schools will not be able to withstand a major seismic event. Aside from their primary function, our communities depend on schools to serve as emergency shelters in times of disaster. If our buildings become unusable after a major seismic event, they cannot fulfill this purpose, and emergency organizations will be impaired in providing services. But let's also ask an expert.
My name is Jared Johnson. I'm a principal at Reevely Engineers and Associates. I'm also an adjunct professor at the University of Utah teaching courses in structural engineering. Now, the safety aspect of schools is paramount in everyone's mind, and it's something we've appreciated right since the very beginning. We want our children to be safe when they go to school. But even beyond that, we need to ask ourselves as a community, what happens if our children don't have a school to go to? What we've come to learn in recent experiences, the earthquakes in Japan and Christchurch, New Zealand, we're coming to appreciate very significantly and simply asking ourselves, what do we do as a community if our children no longer have a school to attend just because it's not seismically safe? It has been damaged in an earthquake to the point that it cannot be reoccupied. What happens if you no longer can send your children to school? In a very broad sense, this means that adults, people who are part of the machine that make our community work, they become somewhat handicapped in that regard because their children have nowhere to go during the day. I mean, their first priority, of course, is to take care of their children, and different and sometimes radically altered arrangements have to be made. We've seen in other areas where this has happened, and not having schools functional can wreak serious havoc with respect to a community's ability to function and be productive. With respect to the bond initiative that's coming up, I think it makes all the sense in the world. From my observations, I think Granite is doing everything in a very responsible way. I think the community as a whole will be benefited once this initiative passes.